Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys, P game. All right, man. Well, hip hop legend Erick Sermon was recently on the Breakfast Club, man, and he just dropped some jewels, man. He was just dropping some knowledge about the music industry and how the music industry treated him and a lot of other artists, which that's not unusual because the music industry is very unfriendly to black hip hop artists. You know, and a lot of these dudes didn't have the knowledge back then that they have now as far as royalties and publishing and all that shit go. You know, basically the new generation are more savvy and more business minded than the guys back then. They understand the business, so that's why a lot of these new age rappers is making the type of money that they make, which I'm happy for them. I like seeing these young black dudes getting their money, whether whether they're good dudes or not. You know, I'm always happy to see a black man getting his money. But Erick Sermon talked about a lot of different things. You guys need to go check out this the interview he had on the Breakfast Club. He also was talking about some things like he has his own streaming company, and he has a if I'm not mistaken, he has a online company where you can sample music and you could like pay for it right then and there. You could pay anywhere from like $1 to like $100 to sample. He said he has over 200,000 samples, something like that, you know, that you could use to make music and all that type of shit. Because, you know, back then in that era, a lot of those dudes used to sample. And a lot of times it wouldn't fare very well for them. Because a lot of times these record labels would come after them, and a lot of rappers got sued by a lot of the artists. A lot of the artists, some artists were known for not liking to be sampled. I know Frankie Beverly back in the day, he did not like to be sampled. So, you know, I can't say I learned a lot from the interview, but people who don't know the music industry, you could learn a lot because I already know how the music industry works. And I'm telling you, back then, you wouldn't have wanted to be a rapper coming out like in the early 90s, you know, because like I said, a lot of these dudes, or the late 80s, a lot of these dudes were the late mid 80s. A lot of these dudes were 17, 18 when they signed a contract. And of course, they didn't know how the music industry works. Now, I know how it works now. That's why I tell all you artists, you know, that write songs, that write lyrics, do not sell your publishing. If you get signed, do not give up your publishing under no circumstances. But the music industry is different now. You really don't need a record label to put out music. You know, when I was coming up, you actually had to go to a studio, you know, and have recording reels and all that type of shit. Now, all you need is a damn computer. You do pretty much everything out your house. You can make the beats, you can record, you can mix it, you can master it, and you can put the shit out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a great story how they was how Erick was talking about how they recorded the iconic album Strictly Business. He said basically they just did it in a generic studio, and basically they only had 8 tracks. So basically, when they was recording those albums, he said that him and Paris was like standing right next to each other sharing the mic while they was rapping. You know, now in this day and era, you don't even have to record your shit in the same studio or shit. You could record your verse from Miami, and you can email it to you can email it and you can send it somewhere else. You don't even have to be, even if you in a rap group, one dude can record his shit from Miami, the next dude can record his verse from LA. That's just how advanced it is. You know. But, you know, it is what it is, man. But if y'all get a chance, check out that interview, man. It's really informative if you a music artist, or if you wanted to know how the music industry worked back in the 80s, early 90s, you know what I'm saying, back in my era. But anyway, this your boy Town Biz. I'm fucking out, about to start my workout.